Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is David Nates, and today I'm going to be speaking about the topic of what is the meaning of life. This question has been asked by every generation since the dawn of humankind. It's also a question that is often feared because the answer might not be what we want to hear, or maybe there simply isn't a real answer. Even in today's scientifically driven age, we as humankind often believe in a supernatural entity that we refer to as God. God in all religions is an intelligent entity that created us for a specific purpose, and that purpose is the meaning of life. Answering this question kind of feels like the alchemist's quest in finding the philosopher's stone. And if you don't know what that is, well, the philosopher's stone is a legendary alchemical substance capable of turning base metals such as mercury into gold or silver. If you take the second law of thermodynamics, which states that entropy of a closed system such as the universe increases up to which equilibrium is reached, then God's purpose in creating us, nature, animals, and pretty much everything around us is pretty much the same as soil organisms causing the decomposition of organic matter. So if you think that way, we were simply created to be superheat dissipators, which actually feels some ways worse to me than having no meaning to life. The truth is, in some ways, it doesn't really matter if God exists or not, or if life has a specific meaning or not. The human brain probably isn't even devised to actually understand such an abstract concept. And even if we could, it might not be as elegant as we would like it to be, kind of like envisioning infinity in its complete form. Physicists have this theoretical theory called the theory of everything, or final theory, ultimate theory, or master theory. They have so many names for it, but basically, it's a single, all-encompassing, coherent theoretical frame of physics that would fully explain and link together all physical aspects of the universe. Seems wonderful, but until now, no one has been able to come up with such a theory, and it might simply not exist. Which brings me back to the meaning of life and why I believe that even though as humans we would like to have an elegant answer to this question, there might actually not be a perfect answer. Take the simple example of a tree. If you take the scientific approach to a tree, it basically contributes to the environment by providing oxygen, improving air quality, climate amelioration, conserving water, preserving soil, and supporting wildlife. Yet as humans, we found so many other purposes to trees. They can be used to make wood, paper, candy wrappers, cereal boxes. The sap of the tree can be used to make maple syrup, chewing gum, crayons, paint, and soap. Even dyes and medicine are made from the bark, while leaves provide oils for cosmetics and medicine. And I'm probably not even mentioning a ton of other uses just for a simple tree. Also, if we take life and use it as a simple prelude for an eternal afterlife, then the meaning of life becomes even more complicated because it's not even clear if there is or can be a form of eternal afterlife that actually retains one's personality or soul. Even if there is eternity, living forever is not a purpose. And if there is heaven and hell, then this adds another question. What is the purpose of the afterlife? Moreover, I feel that hoping for afterlife actually distracts us from actually asking the question of the meaning of life. This is why many philosophers such as Bernard Williams believe that the brevity of life is the actual reason why human life is so precious, and if we were to live an eternal afterlife, then life would simply not have a purpose. This is why God or no God, whether there is a purpose or not, or there is eternal life, we are better off creating our own purpose. Number one, what are you willing to endure? Kind of like everything in life, everybody is seeking that elusive feeling of happiness. But the world in itself isn't made out of just that. Everything sucks some of the time. Hopefully I don't sound too pessimistic when I say that. I actually believe that there is a lot of good to life, but with that, everything in life will require some form of sacrifice. That sacrifice might be time, energy, health, or any other number of things. Nothing is pleasurable and uplifting all the time. Even if you love your job, there will always be a part of it that will be required to be done, but may not be the most enjoyable thing to do. Now that we realize that life isn't always about seeking pleasure, maybe we also need to come to terms with things that we are willing to struggle for and are willing to tolerate. It basically comes down to what we care about the most and how able we are to handle it through life's ups and downs. Kind of like a marriage where they say for better or worse, in sickness and in health. Even one's loving child still poops daily, and chances are that a parent will have to change a dirty diaper and more than once. This fact of needing to be able to handle difficult times becomes even more prevalent the higher one up goes in one's career. Usually the more ambitious one is, the more time, energy, dedication, sacrifice is going to be needed. And with that comes a lot of failure before actually reaching that career goal. Number 2, what did you enjoy doing as a child? Every child loves to play, dream, write, paint, and draw. No matter what culture or place we were born in, it's pretty much a staple of being a kid. What's strange about growing up is that little by little we start forgetting all of these things and we start focusing on friends, romances, work, and aspirations. As adults, we take on jobs because we know that there's usually a monetary compensation for it. So we become human beings that don't do things just for pleasure. We do things only if we are compensated in some form or another. What's strange is that if we look at children, they don't play, draw, write, or do anything really because they're hoping to get monetary compensation. They're doing things because they actually enjoy doing them. Obviously, we do live in a money-driven society, so we do have to accept to make money throughout work somehow because it's the only way to get the bills paid. But we can't forget that there are actually things that we also enjoy doing. It could be spending time with friends, or simply eating food and discovering new places in your city or throughout the world. It doesn't really matter what these things are. What matters is discovering things that we enjoy doing and simply being in the moment, doing these things without expecting to get anything back. A good example is how people open up an Instagram account or even do YouTube videos because they want followers or subscribers. Yes, it's nice to have that acknowledgement that the work we are putting into these platforms is being enjoyed by the masses. But at the same time, we need to ask our inner child, is that really important? Or is it more important to simply create stuff because we enjoy doing it? In the end, I prefer to do the things that I enjoy, and if other people enjoy them too, well, great. And if they don't, well, I'll still keep on doing what I like because I enjoy what I do. It's as simple as that. Number 3, when does time just fly? Everybody has experienced an activity that they are so wrapped up in that they completely lose track of time. Kind of like Einstein's theory of relativity, where time dilation describes the difference of elapsed time between two events as measured by observers that are either moving relative to each other or differently depending on their proximity to a gravitational mass. Or in other words, time just flies when you are enjoying something. For me, it's always been filmmaking. Whenever I'm on set making a film, I completely lose track of time. 16-hour days feel like 5 hours, and I completely forget to eat. Every short film I've made or acted in has so many different variables that I can get so engrossed in it that I completely forget everything else. This is a good thing when it comes to getting the shot and progressing in the project, but with time I've also learned that I need to be able to take a step back sometimes and also think about the other people on set. Breaks are needed, and food, drinks is always a priority. Also, keeping days to manageable hours is a must too. By keeping everyone happy, the project does turn out better than just losing track of time. Now that I've described what I enjoy, I think that everyone needs to take a step back and figure out what they can get obsessive about for self-improvement and competition. Whatever it is, since we do live in a career-oriented world, figuring out how these activities that we love can translate into a job that can generate money is the key to creating more value in one's life. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. At the end of the day, death is really the thing that gives us perspective on the value of life. The price of being born is that one day we have to die too. I feel that everyone wants to leave a trace on this earth, and it's in that non-existence that we can get a better sense of what is important about our own existence. People who have no sense of direction, no purpose in life, are usually people who don't know what's important to them and what their deepest values are. Not knowing one's values is kind of like the same as being in an unhealthy relationship, and is going to lead to sadness. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe and hit that like button. And on the last note, by discovering what your meaning to life is, well, it'll lead you to bigger and better things, and things that are even bigger than your existence. It's not about achievements, money, and fame. It's about spending your limited time on this earth in the best way possible. So just make it a good one. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.